Hello, hello. This is group number four, and we're the gas capture module. My name is Mitch.
Michael Riccobono.
I'm Daniel Tanner.
We got Justin right over there, and we're ready to begin. So we're going to start off, and we're going to review our subject material. So our major thing that we're going about is flaring, and flaring is a huge waste, and it's just terrible for the environment, bad image for companies. And the big thing that we're going to try to do is capture it and make it useful. One of the big things is that when we're coming into this project, we're like, is there enough of it that we want to actually do this project? And after doing a bunch of research, we found that there's tons and tons of flaring going on. A lot of times in third world countries where they don't have the infrastructure to do it. And that's one of the big things that we're going to try to implement our senior design project with. For the economics, as you can see straight off our tabs here, I can probably do a little thing here, never mind. But you can see satellite images can even show flaring. I mean, if you can see this stuff driving down the highway and you can see it on satellites, that's a problem that we need to go about fixing. And that amount of volume of gas is definitely economical to implement our programs. It's worldwide. We found a lot of it in Nigeria. That was kind of recommended to take a look at from one of our advisors. And then we've also been looking at Russia because they've been trying to do some problems. They've been trying to fix problems of flaring there as well. Some things that we already have in place. You have what we were originally looking at trying to do was kind of design like a gas engine that can take this, but it's already out there from what we found, and it can save people about $20,000 to $25,000 a month. So that is huge. That's free money pretty much right there, just for recycling it. And it's better for your image. We have thermoelectric, which we found. That's been raising a lot of money from investors, and that's something that we've been looking at. The G2it model, Daniel, if you want to talk about that a little bit, because that was kind of on your part.
Yeah, so what they do is they take they have a multi-step process. So basically they take the gas and they run it into their unit and they compress and refrigerate the gas. And what they do with that is they sell it to market. They turn it into liquid natural gases and sell it back to market to make some profit, just so you're not wasting everything. And whatever is left from this gas is sent back to the well in a gas generator, just like we were talking about before. And what's left over is used in various places like steam engines, turbines, and various things like that.
Straight. And one of the big things I was researching was the difference between wet and dry gases. So what causes people to flare is something that you need to know. If we're going to try to solve this problem, we need to learn how and why they're doing it. So when you have a dry gas, that's great. These are the dry gases that they are not going to flare. They're going to capture it very easily. They're going to put it straight back into their engines, and they're going to make money off that. But the problem is these wet gases. These wet gases come out, and they're filled with hydrocarbons that don't burn as well. They mess up engines. And those type of gases, the biggest problem with them is you have to capture them and then treat them. Because if you're like out in the middle of nowhere, Africa, they're not going to have a processing plant right there to do that. So some of the big things that we're looking at that they do right now is the capture processes, where they're converting it to LNG and then transporting it, where they go into this absorption method, where they're treating it. They're using this type of gas to treat it, and that's what we're going to mainly focus on, and mostly the economics part of it, so we can implement it. So we're going to get into so now we're done with our subject review. We're going to go more into our project goals and objectives. We really want to get the gas capture system all down. We need to get a budget requirements for our systems. We need to make the big key is profitability. If this is not profitable, we are not going to make any money off of it. No company is going to make any money off of it, and the entire design is just going to die. The biggest thing that going forward is getting feedback from industry, because that's our target. That's our target. That's who we are trying to essentially sell our design to. And then we're going to try to work on our final project presentation. As a kind of a conclusion there, I pretty much already summarized everything, so I won't kind of just repeat what I already said, but we're pretty much set on our research. We've done a lot of research, and we know this can be working. So for future work, we're going to really try to get and meet with industry professionals and talk to them about some of their problems that they've had. And then we're going to meet with our advisor more, and we're going to try to hold up. Let me go to the next thing. Our advisor feedback. That's the next big thing that we're trying to go for. Our advisor is Jonathan Knowles, and he's been great. We've been meeting with him, getting some lunches, and he's given us a lot of advice to go on in the future. Like you said, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're trying to have fun with it, and we're trying to learn. That's a real big thing, because when we get out of school and we're in the industry, if we've done a design project and we just kind of know the cost of compressors off the top of our head, we know the price of pipeline per foot and things like that, that's going to be huge. That's going to be something that's going to sell our image of LSU. For as teamwork, we've done pretty well together. I'd say everybody's been on board. We have Justin working on system design, and he's actually doing that right now. He's in Homa. I'm working on the budget and cost of equipment because I really like money, so it's felt natural to go there. Danny's going to be reaching out to a lot of industry contacts. Like we were talking about earlier, if the system that he found there, he's going to contact that company and ask them for some costs and stuff and things in that nature. And then Mike over here is going to be busting out some of the research for further work. As in terms of project management, we've completed quite a bit so far. We've gotten our project down. I mean, we came into this thing not really knowing what the heck we were going to do. So we've got our project down. We know that we want to work on flaring. That's a problem that we need to solve. We've done a bunch of literature review, so we've read up on material, got educated in our subject. We've been doing the weekly updates, and that's been really good because it brings our group together every single week, and we talk about what we need to do next week. And then we've got, right now we're doing the presentation, and then we're going to be working on the proposal later today. As in terms of budget, for like money for just us to work on it, we don't really need a budget. We're not designing any like models. We're not traveling anywhere. We're mostly doing phone calls and stuff like that, so we don't really need a budget for it. But what we are trying to do is we're going to create like a budget of how much it would cost to implement our program. So we're still getting like the experience of using budgets and getting adequate with money and handling that. So that's what we're more targeting there. So we still cover that perspective in our senior design projects. The time frame, I won't just keep reading this. The big thing that we're going to try to do is winter break. We're not going to be together, so a lot of it's going to be over the phone. And what we've been optimizing is Google Drive. That's been great because we can see, like we have it up here right now, right next to me. We can literally be all on the same computer and be updating at the same time. It's great. All of us can download this off of here and work with it. So we're going to try to do that because we really want to have, I mean, if we put a lot of work in winter break while we're gone, it's going to free up our entire semester when we get back. So we're going to come in, we're going to hit these bullet points here, and we're going to do that. And then as in terms of resources, it's back again to it. We're really trying to meet with industry professionals because that's been the biggest. That I would say that's going to be the best thing that we can do right now in terms of economics and figuring out what we need from there. So we got our little health and safety here too. Flare gas is dangerous. I mean, you're dealing with highly combustible gas. So I mean, when we go into compression, when we go to compress that, you got to be very careful because you're pretty much compressing like a little bomb. If you hit that sucker, it's gonna go boom. So Justin came together with our health and safety here, kind of some things that you want to make sure that you don't hit, and that's slips and trips, electrical hazards, pretty much anything you want when you got explosive gas there. So it kind of continues here, and we got our work side for all the works that we found and any images that we've used on here too. So we appreciate your time today, and go Tigers.